This week, the Prime Minister and the Chancellor were both issued with fixed penalty notices after they attended a birthday party held for Boris Johnson in Number 10 in June 2020.
But that might not be the end of the story, as the PM potentially may receive further fines for breaches of coronavirus laws.
This week also saw the resignation of Conservative Minister David Woolsworthen, who said he had no option other than to quit because of the scale, context and nature of COVID breaches in government, inconsistent with the rule of law.
So let's go to Wellingborough and speak to Conservative MP Peter Bone. So were the police wrong to issue Boris with a fixed penalty notice?
Well, I'm not going to criticise the police. They interpreted a ridiculous law. And many of us fought not to have these silly laws in lockdown. But you know, I understand that this sort of fixed notice of penalty is the same as like getting a parking ticket. Well, I'm afraid most people do get one of those in their lives.
Well, the difference is, Peter, that the Prime Minister was the one who imposed these laws on everybody and didn't just impose them on us. He told us it was absolutely vital for us all that we followed these draconian laws. Do you not think it's somehow different when the Prime Minister's found to break laws that he himself put in place, said were hugely important, and most people in the country followed at huge personal cost to themselves?
Yeah, but in the Prime Minister's case, this happened in a building that's his home. He didn't think he was breaking any. He didn't think he was going for a party. Clearly wasn't a party. Turned up in the Cabinet office and someone had a surprise birthday party. I mean, the person that should be even more miffed is the Chancellor. He turned up for a meeting and there was a birthday cake and he gets slapped with a fine. I mean, I just don't think it is a great matter of concern. What is a matter of concern is the war in Europe, ending the small boats crossings, dealing with COVID. And of course, the Prime Minister's already got Brexit done. So I think people are behind, well, at least in my constituency, my emails are full of people supporting the Prime Minister, not opposing him, and actually supporting what's been announced this week, that we're going to send people to come here illegally to Rwanda, which is, I think, exactly the right thing, because it will end this terrible trade of people across the Channel by evil smuggling gangs.
Do you not think, though, Peter, I mean, you say it's not, you don't think it's that serious, but that's not what lots of emails I've been receiving from my constituents have been saying. They feel very let down, they feel very annoyed. Do you not accept that the Prime Minister's lost an awful lot of trust from people over this incident, and that trust once lost is very difficult, if impossible, to win back?
I don't think so. I mean, my inbox, Phil, has got a number of people who are complaining about the Prime Minister and the parties in Downing Street. But they're the same people that hated Boris from the beginning. They're the people who never supported him, didn't support, for instance, Brexit, don't like the Conservative Party. I'm not getting people, genuine constituents who don't have a political allegiance, complaining. I go out on the doorsteps and knock on doors, and people want the Prime Minister to get on with the issue. I just looked before I came on the programme, and the top email in there, support for the Prime Minister. So I really don't buy this. I mean, it's rather like playing football, isn't it? If you can't play the ball because you're not good enough, the other side's better at it, you attack the player. And I think that's what the opposition is doing. And it rather... If you ask me, has the Prime Minister got it right on Brexit, on COVID and the vaccinations? Has he got it right on small boats crossing? Has he led Europe's response to the war in Europe? I think everyone would say yes. And that's what they want in a Prime Minister. They want strong leadership. I just think he's done a tremendously good job. And he's had a whole set of problems that no other Prime Minister has had to face one after another.
What about if there's more fixed penalty notices that are given to the Prime Minister over the next few weeks because he was found to have broken the rules on other occasions too? What if the local election results suggest that the public look more harshly upon what's happened than you seem to think, Peter? Do you think if either of those two things happen that the Prime Minister's position would become untenable?
No, in the first case with the fixed penalty notice, well, if there are any, we have to look at the situation. But I absolutely accept the Prime Minister's view that he didn't realise that he was breaking the law. I mean, they certainly, nothing that I've heard of what the party that the Prime Minister attended could in any way be considered a party. I mean, it seems to me the Prime Minister was right to think that they were work meetings. As for local government elections, well, I think we did very, very well last time these elections are fought. I hope we don't lose any seats, but I expect we will, because that's what happens to a government in mid-term. I don't think you can draw any conclusions. I remember Mr. Blair losing lots of local government elections mid-term and then going on to having a whopping great win at the general election. So I don't think that's any guide to the future.
Peter Bone, thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning. And, Peter's raised some important and interesting points, as did you. People are writing in to us saying, we don't agree, this behaviour's, terrible. Other people are writing in saying, now isn't the time. They're looking at the time. It isn't time to change your Prime Minister. Look what's going on. But I think there's a philosophical question there. Tory MPs are renowned for getting rid of their leaders if they want to straight away. We do it better than any other party. But is there a philosophical question going on with MPs? Are they saying this is a problem in the past, this is something he's done, but who do we think will be a great leader for the future? Is that why they're having difficulties? Is it also because we're on recess and we want to gather and speak together? I think people are genuinely thinking, yes, maybe he'll have to go. It's like a Damocles sword over the Prime Minister's head, but now isn't the right time. So it's still there. He certainly isn't out of trouble, but maybe not just yet. What do you think of the...
Well, I'd be interested to hear what the viewers think. Let us know, gbviews@gbnews.uk.